Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Settle in. No more time away, Ballou. It's football in Duval. 6.5 months. Are you ready? That is the question. Of course, in this one-horse town, you were ready by the second week of January. And I get it. It's here. All the vacation is gone. A week spent in the mountains of North Carolina. Oh, my God. I had Atlantic Coast Conference pride. You know, I was thinking about the Demon Deacons, and I was thinking about playing in that snake pit in Raleigh, North Carolina, and go spit in the lake like Roy Williams and go spit in the lake like Mac Brown and Duke. And Tobacco Road, and just everything about that phenomenal conference that we refer to as the Atlantic Coast Conference. So, a great week in North Carolina. Absolutely recharged and ready to go. I mean, you talk about full-out steam. That is what we're going to have beginning from right now all the way through the remainder of July, which includes day one of Jaguars training camp, live from the Miller Electric Center coming up this Wednesday morning. I mean, just absolutely right there in front of us. The remainder of July, August, September, October, November, December, January football, and for Jaguar fans, hopefully you get into that first weekend of February. So it's great to have you with us alongside JJ LaSelva. My name is Rick Ballou. Today, the football world was in Charlotte, North Carolina. We were not there. Here at 1010XL and 92.5 FM, we exercised our grant of rights, and we said, we ain't going this year. You can't drop a 4-day spectacle on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Obviously, or honestly, you're worth about 4 hours, not 4 days. So we elected to stay back. Typically, it's the long trip back to Carolina on Sunday, and bam, we're after it Monday, Tuesday. Used to be just Wednesday, but nah. Or it used to be what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? I mean, what a circus. How can you bring in 17 teams and have 4 days worth of content in the Atlantic Coast Conference? Talk about jumping the shark and losing interest. Today was a valuable day. I tell you why today was a valuable day. Florida State was there. Jim Phillips spoke. We got an opportunity to meet one of the 3 new teams, and actually the only team that will fear or maybe put fear in opponents is SMU. I mean, it's not going to be out at Cal. It's not going to be out at Stanford. Great schools, right? Represents no Cal. Certainly meant much more to have Dallas and San Francisco in before there was streaming, right? You could have really bragged about adding enormous markets, top 5, top 6 markets in the country. Does that matter anymore? Okay, as far as streaming, it certainly doesn't matter when it comes to playing football on the field. And today's Atlantic Coast Conference meetings also brought us the fearless leader in a time where we have just seen great leadership, right? I mean, we have seen it all across our country as we're 4 months away from an election. Actually, about 3 months away. How about 106 days away from an election? Seeing the head of our Secret Service getting absolutely grilled earlier today. Had no answers, even though it was 9 days after the assassination attempt. I mean, phenomenal leadership. Let me say this right now. If I'm picking a leader, I want Jim Phillips. Because what Jim Phillips with the ACC will do is give you his opinion, and then when you find out that it's wrong, he'll totally turn things around 180 and give you the exact opposite opinion a year later. And he's done that with so many different things, including expansion, including his long talk about the white picket fence and how every team deserves to be behind the white picket fence. Of course, he turned that when he wanted to bring in more of a revenue sharing model that would support the elite, if I'm allowed to say that, in the ACC. Of course, he was a part of that alliance, which snapped. He didn't want a college football playoff. He wanted only a 4-team college football playoff. He basically led off his speech today by saying he is in full support of a 12-team college football playoff. So Jim Phillips is just like all of these other greasy politicians. Take whatever he says with a fine number 2 pencil because it's non-believable. Now, many believe today was a victory for Jim Phillips. Today was a victory for the Atlantic Coast Conference. Words continue to trickle out of Charlotte and elsewhere that Florida State and Clemson will not, by the date of August 15th, announce that they are leaving the conference. That is the deadline for the 2025-2026 season. Now, that has been speculated before. I think it was Dennis Dodd who said it back in, I want to say it was May or June. I never saw any quotes on that, but he was told from someone, and I saw that a little bit earlier today. Brett McMurphy went back and commented on that. While I was on vacation, McMurphy really fired up some Florida State fans by saying, Florida State may pull out. They don't have anywhere to go. The Big Ten doesn't want them. And McMurphy's a guy I know. Okay, I've known him forever. He's a pretty well-connected man in the world of college football. But today, back to today's small victory for the Atlantic Coast Conference, you get another year. So if you're Jim Phillips right now, you talk about living paycheck to paycheck like so many of you Americans are. Tell you what, if you vote for me, I will work so hard. I will tax the rich. I will feed the poor. It's Ballou and La Selva for 2024. But he just goes on and on and on, talking about how he's going to fight for this conference. How no school is bigger than the ACC. He's wrong, okay? Texas and Oklahoma were bigger than the Big 12. Quick, who's in the Big 12 now? Who cares? I mean, who cares? The Big 12's like, can you imagine settling in if it was a day where you weren't streaming or you didn't have cable or you didn't have DirecTV or you didn't have any of these devices? It was back in the day when you had to get up and turn the knob and you just had like 2 or maybe 3 stations to choose from, and it was Saturday at 3:30. And you're like, give me the game of the week in the SEC. Give me the game of the week in the Big Ten. Give me the game of the week in the ACC. And all of a sudden you sat down and you found out that you were getting a game from the Big 12, that you were going to get like Iowa against Oklahoma State. Okay, I guess Iowa's actually in the Big Ten. You get Iowa State against Kansas. Hey, who cares about the Big 12? Okay, that conference doesn't mean anything anymore. The 2 premier teams are gone in the SEC. If Florida State and Clemson, when they leave the Atlantic Coast Conference, it's on life support. Miami's going to follow. North Carolina's going to follow. They're allowing Florida State and Clemson separately right now to do the dirty work. But others are going to jump off the ship as well. Jim Phillips goes on to say the ACC is bigger than any one of their teams. He's wrong. He's dead wrong. And if you want to argue that, I just gave you the sole reason why you would be incorrect. Just look at today's Big 12. Jim Phillips went on to say he's got a very good working relationship with the higher-ups at both Florida State and Clemson, citing both presidents, citing both athletic directors. Here's what we do know. This thing is going to be incredibly ugly and very lengthy. The lawyers are masterful in their way of being able to tie up things legally speaking. And there's so much you got to get through about seeing the documentation. Is it, now apparently it is on its way to Tallahassee. They actually passed that a couple of weeks ago before I went on vacation. And Florida State now finally has the ability to look at things legally and understand what their next move is, and then they have to either trash the document or return the document, but at least it's a start for Florida State. I know some have been saying that this is it. They're going to play this year. They're going to get out by August 15th, and next year they'll be in a different conference. Others have said, no way. 2025, 2026. Again, the word coming out of Charlotte today is that that is absolutely going to be the case now. But who knows? This thing could stretch for 3 more years, 4 more years. I would not put a timetable on it. And I think that the lawyering is going to have a huge part of this. And not only, just sitting down and trying to hammer out these details, I think their right to exercise and almost clog the situation, for a lack of a better word, is exactly what's in store here. This is a very long process that remains ahead of everyone involved in both the ACC, Florida State, and Clemson. Okay, when we come back, we'll actually hear from the commissioner of the ACC and Jim Phillips, and I want to move on. Okay, Florida State spoke today. That was a really good day for the Noles. One thing that's kind of missing in all of this with Mike Norvell, when you think about the coach at Florida State, what comes to mind first? I think for a lot of you, it would be how he has handled the transfer portal. He has been as good as any coach in the country in not only acquiring talent, but more importantly, developing talent. And I know Jaheim Bell had success, and I know that Braden Fisk had success. But go back and look at the numbers of Trey Benson. Go back and look at the numbers of Johnny Wilson. Go back and look at the numbers of Jared Verse. All right, Keon Coleman had a nice career at Michigan State. It's not like he brought over star after star after star, right? He's developed players. And the transfer portal is one of the first things that comes to mind when you think about Mike Norvell. Look what he did today. He brought 3 guys with him. We understand that DJ Uyunglele said thanks but no thanks, bringing guys that were part of last year's conference championship team. I thought it showed a lot of leadership for the Noles QB. The 3 guys he brought in today, all homegrown players. He recruited Patrick Payton. He recruited Joshua Farmer. He recruited Darius Washington. Actually, I would say Washington might have been there under Willie Taggart. I'll have to go back and check that. Nonetheless, 3 homegrown, talented kids came to Florida State, have remained at Florida State. This is something I've been saying now for quite some time. The transfer portal has worked at FSU. If they are going to get back to where they once were, the next step is to recruit better players and develop your players. It'll be very intriguing to see how Mike Norvell is able to handle this. Frankly, I think he's going to be fine at it. I think he's developed less talented players. I would expect him to be able to develop better players, right? I mean, isn't that just common sense? I believe it is. We'll come back and talk about that as well. All right, opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Good to get back with them since I've been back in Jacksonville. Family organization. They focus on high-quality medical and surgical eye care, including surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago, performed by Dr. Neil Shmunez. How about laser eye surgery? Again, raining on this Monday. Let's get it all out of the way. No rainy Mondays during football season, right? Get the rain out now during Monday. But, hey, you're driving home, could be a problem. How about laser eye surgery? Along with Dr. Catherine Shmunez, you're talking about 30 years combined when it comes to laser eye surgery. For all the details, go to Shmunez Vision. Also, check him out on Instagram at Shmunez Vision. Care you can see. It's great to be back. We've got a ton to do on a Monday edition. As always, the best way for you to join us is on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. That number, 641-1010.
Warner to throw. Going deep downfield. Isaac Cruz for a touchdown.
I'm Kurt Warner, and you're listening to 1010 XL.
73 yards.
92.5 FM. Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's in full swing, and air conditioners are fully stressed. But do what I did and call the good folks at Fenwick Home Services to stay cool and comfortable all season long. Need a new AC system? Fenwick has free same-day estimates and next-day installations. And your new system is backed by a warranty of up to 12 years. That's right, 12 years. Fenwick also offers same-day, 24/7 service, day or night, and their expert technicians will get the job done and get it done right the first time. Book online now at FenwickHomeservices.com.
Frank Frangie here. Ready to experience used-phoria? You can with Car Bravo at Nimnik Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealer. Buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. With Car Bravo, Nimnik Buick GMC can certify all makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be named the #1 Car Bravo dealer in the Southeast region and top 10 in the country. So shop online at Nimnik Buick GMC. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
International soccer returns this summer. Don't miss Premier League clubs Wolves and West Ham in Jacksonville for the Stateside Cup, July 27th at Everbank Stadium. Tickets as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
Seminoles, yes. Hurricanes, yes. 1010XL brings the Atlantic Coast Conference to the First Coast. It's the ACC kickoff in Charlotte. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234.
And Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
What's changed totally inside and out? The Kuhn Flowers massive storefront, and yes, they've totally remodeled the showroom inside too. This is Frank Frangie, and the next time you drive by, stop and smell the roses at Kuhn Flowers.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com. Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL breaks down training camp all day. Listen for camp news with analysis and insight from the practice feed. Everything counts! 1010XL's training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control. 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Monday show brought to you by the good folks over at Miller Electric Company. We're all looking forward to being out at the Miller Electric Center for a ton of days. Beginning on Wednesday, be very early in the morning. I'm going to say it's at 8 a.m. perhaps. So looking forward to seeing you out there. Fans are allowed to many of these practices. Again, make sure you go to Jaguars.com, register, shade, all the amenities. It's just top notch if you haven't had an opportunity to get out there to watch practice. I'll also tell you that Miller Electric Company, they're hiring right now. Hard work, best pay. Top-notch benefits. Apply by going to MillerCareers.com. 96 years in business right here in Jacksonville. Thank you, as always, to the good folks at Miller Electric. JJ LaSelva is here.
Hola.
Got a jacket on?
Yeah, I was... Dude, I don't know why I still have the jacket on, but I had to, sprint to my car this afternoon. Mm-hmm. In the worst part of the downpour to get to work, and my shoes got soaked. Oh, I literally have had wet socks and wet feet for 4 hours now. I'm beyond annoyed.
Yeah. They talk about cold feet. Cold feet I can deal with. Wet feet.
Wet feet, though, and wet socks. And it's just, I feel terrible right now. I cannot wait to go home and shower.
That's the problem.
Tell you what else. I know you hate to say I can't wait, but literally, I cannot wait to get these shoes off.
Well, at this hour, everyone's gone, man. Just take them off.
You don't want that.
Oh, you one of those with bad smelling feet?
No, I don't.
What is the cure for smelly feet?
My brother's a really smelly feet guy. He also doesn't wear socks a lot. He's one of those, I wear shoes without socks, those type of shoes, to make it even worse. But he uses the powder a lot.
Okay.
Powder all over the shoes.
I'm a big hygiene guy.
Me too. My feet never smell, but I'm scared that them being wet this whole time, that they're probably not the best.
Growing up,
pungent.
Not growing up, but being a dad with only girls around, they'd let you know.
I'm sure.
I got come in after cutting the lawn. They'd be like, "Dad, you stink." I'm like, "Girls, I just cut the lawn. It's 100 degrees out. You give your dad a break now. I'm making my way to the shower,
Let me have one beer,
Hey, final bit from Carolina. This is a true story. All right, I'm way up top of the mountain. Bear Lake Country Club is just phenomenal. And I played a lot of nice courses out there. Rented a nice cabin with my GF and her 5-year-old granddaughter. It was absolutely spectacular, Dakota. So we're there, and we're having the time of our life. We're chasing waterfalls, and we're swimming, and I'm finding a way to mix in rounds of golf. It's our final day, and I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday. But anyway, my phone rings, which was a surprise because the reception is so bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm almost done. She's like, well, you may want to play another 9. I'm like, what's up? She's like, we got a flat tire. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I pay for the service or whatever it is, call someone. She's like, well, we got a problem, okay? Tough to get anyone on the line, tough to get some reception, and they said they were going to be a couple hours away. So anyway, make a long story short, finally the guy shows up 3 hours late, goes and whips out our tire, finds out it's one of those tiny little replacement tires. We're like, no big deal. I mean, it's a Buick Enclave. Everyone's got tires for a Buick Enclave. However, when we purchased our Buick Enclave, we got it with all the bells and whistles. And instead of the normal 18-inch wheel, it was a 20-inch wheel. So we called 30, 40. I shouldn't say we, she. Called 30, 40 different places all over North Carolina, all over South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Columbia. No one had the tire. So to make a long story short, we drove from the mountains of North Carolina to the plush acquaintance of Bartram Springs in Duval, about a 9-hour trip going somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 55 miles per hour, the entire 474 miles home.
So almost double the time. So what, it wasn't like that bad? Or it was just like...
Everyone said just do not go faster than 55. And when you got a 5-year-old granddaughter in the back, you see... I found
You're
myself...
a lot more careful than just
right,
you.
Found myself obeying that advice more than if it had been just me or just me. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So is there just, 18-wheeler after 18-wheeler flying past you while you're in the far right lane?
You know what? It really didn't...
All day?
We really didn't get highway until Savannah. We were able to take the back roads all through North Carolina and South Carolina and out through a great deal of Georgia. I don't remember the route.
Very nice then.
Yes, and it was raining and there wasn't a lot of traffic out. But once we got, just outside of Savannah, I forget the route there until we got to 95. And, by that time we just went. So what I did, what most people do when they go 55 miles an hour, I just got in the left lane.
Made everyone go around.
And put on cruise control and just watched everyone else go by because that's what people do.
The classic Jacksonville driving tactic.
I had to come in here to cut some stuff earlier today on Florida State and Jimmy Graham. It was like 4:30. I'm like, actually, it was.
The roads were dead.
4:15. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I lied again. It was 3:45, and I'm like, I'm heading in, but I know it's been raining in Jacksonville, so I'm expecting a rain coma.
An extra 30 minutes
to go down Phillips Highway. Now they're working on South Side, and South Side's just a mess.
Dude, it's bad.
Okay.
Right now.
It took me an hour and 10 minutes to get here. I live like 14 miles away.
Oh, my God. There was a lady in front of me. I shouldn't say lady. There was a person in front of me. I have no idea. But it was raining pretty bad. But she had to put her cautions on, the entire way down Southside Boulevard. The only person that thought she had to put her caution lights on the entire... And let me tell you guys how stupid you are when you do that. Sometimes it is necessary, honestly, on the interstate when you can barely see. I get that. But you can't really tell when someone's braking with those on.
Right.
So you're not really being as careful as you think you are with those on. No. Be safe out there, folks. We don't need to see your caution lights with a little bit of rain.
Take after JJ and take after yours truly. Go 15 miles per hour slower and just get in the left lane. Okay, that's what people do. That's the new wave. Okay, and while you're at it, drive with one hand and have a cell phone going with your other hand. And that is today's way of driving.
Well, we're glad you made it back.
I'm back. I ain't going anywhere. I ain't going anywhere for any long period of time. I think that this is going to be such a spectacular fall. I really do. Between the Jaguars, and I'm going to get into some Jaguar stuff. I mean, Trevor Lawrence coming in at 94, the top 100 players from NFL Network today, is certainly worthy of a conversation. Some Jaguar fans got a lot of feedback when I was gone about the announcement of Eric Armstead beginning workouts on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list. Some folks upset about that. I wouldn't be as cautious. I think this was almost expected after his meniscus surgery. And then with college football, and to get these early games that are just spectacular in the month of August is what college football is all about. As a matter of fact, on the other side, I do want to talk a little bit about Florida State because today was Florida State Day with the Atlantic Coast Conference. I want to come back and give you my 2 cents on what I think about the Noles for the 2024 season. That's coming up on the other side. You can join the conversation. Text us, 641-1010. That is the text line. It's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Jags. Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. One-on-one interviews with players, practice footage, podcasts, and more. If you're looking for the best Big Cat coverage around, look no further. 1010XL Jaguars on YouTube.
Hey folks, it's Jennifer Marion. Randy Marion Cadillac is the pinnacle of luxury in the First Coast area.
And guess what? We've got the all-new Cadillac Lyriq with $16,000 off MSRP.
That's right. You pick the color and drive away today in ultimate style.
Experience the future of driving with the Cadillac Lyriq. Electric, elegant, and exhilarating.
Visit us online at randymarioncadillacofjacksonville.com or come see us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Don't miss out on this unbeatable deal. Plus tax tag title, $8.99 admin fee, and resist all.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Pickett here for Bowden Eye & Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bowden Eye. Visit Bowden Eye & Associates today and experience the difference. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Is your roof ready to weather the storm? Don't take chances with your home safety. Schedule a free roof inspection with the experts at Universal Roof and Contracting. Get peace of mind knowing your home is protected from the elements. Save up to $1,250 on your roof replacement, plus flexible financing up to 15 years. Offer expires July 31st. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or click universalroof.com.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 22nd, 1923, Washington Senators' future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Walter Johnson becomes the first to reach 3,000 career strikeout milestone.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. In today's world of retail, how has a store like Underwoods stayed viable against the big national stores?
Frank, that's a question with a direct answer. At Underwoods, we've never aspired to be the biggest. What we've always tried to do is be the best. When you take this approach, there's some things that come to mind immediately, like fine quality merchandise bought by buyers that are experts, high levels of service delivered by a staff that are helpful and know what they're doing. Then there's some things that people don't really think about at all. Like the finer a gem, the more rare it is. And these gems are not mass producible because they were made by God millions of years ago. Because of that, there just aren't enough of these for the big multi-store retailers to buy and put into their merchandising schemes. So at Underwoods, we buy these finer, rarer gems and create jewelry pieces that the people in Jacksonville expect out of us.
When you want the best, it's Underwoods. Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine-in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Catch all the interviews and analysis of this year's ACC kickoff.
Sold out crowd, Doak Campbell Stadium.
Coverage on 1010XL is brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Local Union 234, and Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we got some golf coming up next hour. A little bit of a look back to yesterday and the events at Royal Troon. Congratulations to Xander Schauffele. Wow. 2 majors. And, of course, Scotty Scheffler, an incredible year as well. So we'll take a look at that. Want to get to some Jaguars as well. Fired up. Camp begins on Wednesday. Really, quite a few storylines. We'll go over some of those as well coming up here momentarily. I do want to begin, though, by talking about Florida State. Also want to let you know that today the program is brought to you by Thermal Engineers, and they are also hiring, okay? They're a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. If you're a qualified technician or installer, all right, top pay, 401k, full benefits, how about a signing bonus? For all the details, go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., or give them a call at 230-1172. That's 230-1172, an equal opportunity employer at Thermal Engineers. Yeah, signing bonus. Qualified technicians, installers, top pay, 401k, full benefits, and again, a signing bonus. Best bet is just to go to Thermal Engineers. Get all the details there. Thermal Engineers, INC. All right. You know, when you mention Florida State, it's become so polarizing because there's so much more, right? It's more than just being left out of the college football playoff. It's 13-0. It's losing 63-3. It's having 27 guys not attend. I guess it was the Orange Bowl. It was how do they respond? To me, that stuff at this particular time is water under the bridge. It's now for Florida State, as they did meet in Charlotte today at the Atlantic Coast Conference football meetings. Today is day one. Florida State was the premier team on this Monday. And that's all gone now, okay? I think Florida State is going to return to classic Florida State in this manner. I think they're really physical. I think they're going to be a nasty team in the ditch. And they're going to take on some fierce opponents in the ditch, including Miami. Very physical. And that's been an Achilles heel for Miami, really, during the Manny Diaz regime and even recently. But they've done a good job recruiting. They've done a nice job in the transfer portal. I think Miami's line of scrimmage, you can say what you want about all those great battles. There was that statistic forever between Florida State and Miami that whatever team rushed for the most yards won that game. It was like something like 20 out of 21 years. I remember the year Greg Jones, when I flew back from Chicago, ran for like 185 yards. And it wasn't enough on that particular day in the old Orange Bowl. But I believe Florida State is returning to classic Bowden in the Jimbo heyday where they're going to beat you up at the line of scrimmage. Okay, they got a whole bunch of guys in that offensive line. They really got 8 or 9 guys that they believe can play along the offensive line, including Darius Washington, who did represent Florida State earlier today as a starting left tackle. Maurice Smith is back as a center. They got the Richie Leonard kid from Florida, who they like. They got T.J. Ferguson from Alabama, who they think can play. Mixed reviews for Jeremiah Byers in his career, right? Robert Scott is a guy who's been around, I want to say now, for 6 years. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. How much can he help this year? Keandre Jones has a ton of starts. Julian Armella, the son of Enzo Armella, is a guy that was so highly regarded. It's time. You know, he's gone from tackle to guard. It's time. It's year 3. You know, you're going to separate. Are you going to become a guy they can lean on? So I really like the line of scrimmage, and I like their backs. I think they can run the football. I think they can move chains and take time off the clock with Toa Thiele and Roydell Williams. And, you know, they're going to have packages for this Jalen Lucas transfer, who is probably the fastest guy on campus. Keziah Holmes, a transfer from Penn State, they like. You know, Cam Davis is hopefully the future, but he only played 4 games a year ago with the knee. I would not think that he is needed this year. So I do. I think they're a physical bunch. But the problem becomes playmakers. Okay? DJ Uiagalelei, 57% of his passes. That was his completion ratio a year ago. He has to learn a new offense for a 3rd consecutive year. The guy's got 40 career starts. 40. The learning curve is over. You either have it or you don't. It's simple. He has 40 career starts. Bo Nix was kind of laughed out of Auburn. Bo Nix at Oregon became a 1st-round draft pick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say Bo Nix has the most college football starts of any quarterback in NCAA history. He improved. DJ got off to a good start. DJ's victory over Florida State when he was young was maybe the best game of his career. Had a really good one against Notre Dame. He fell apart. A lot of people think he's not the answer, right? Happy feet, doesn't see the whole field, latches on to a progression. And what makes it even more problematic is that Florida State has a bunch of guys at wide receiver, right? And it's a healthy conversation. Oh, Malik Benson. Oh, he's going to be the guy. You know, the transfer route. Malik Benson has 13 career receptions. Oh, Jaylen Brown. He's going to be the guy. The transfer from, I think he's got 3 or 4 career receptions. Hakeem Williams is a 5. Got 6 balls last year, injured. Oh, Ja'Kai Douglas. All right, Ja'Kai Douglas came up huge against Pittsburgh. You know what the problem was for Florida State last year? They only went to 3 guys. They went to Wilson, they went to Coleman, they went to Bell. And they threw to the backside of the backfield. They didn't have wide receivers who caught the ball. So that becomes a problem now. Because instead of mentioning all these guys, right, mentioning Portier and mentioning Williamson and mentioning Deuce Spot, you need someone to step up. And that, to me, with a quarterback who is throwing 57% of his passes as completions, is petrifying. That's not a good recipe. Now, what is Florida State's coaching. They got better. Jordan Travis got better. Okay? The players got better. Has he had enough time to implement his game plan and do what he wants? Where you have wide receivers that have not produced at this level and a quarterback who many think is just a Band-Aid for the 2024 season to get him ready for when they'll be, quote-unquote, more competitive in 2025. I don't subscribe to that. I think they're talented enough in areas. That defensive line. I think that defensive line can be better than last year's defensive line. I really do. I met with Shade Tree. He was in town 3-4 weeks ago. Some of that conversation was off the record, but spoke an awful lot about his son. Marvin Jones Jr. Some of the workout videos that I've seen are fascinating. But let's be honest, he hasn't gotten the job done for 2 years at Georgia. Georgia hasn't played him the right way. Georgia didn't have him rush the quarterback. Hey, I can't criticize Georgia. They went 29 in a row, 2 straight national titles. I mean, they didn't play Trayvon Walker the right way, but you still can't criticize him. All they do is win. What I'm making a point in saying is that Florida State can use him differently. Is the light going to go on? You know, Joshua Farmer is there. The list just goes on and on and on with some of these defensive tackles. You know, for one reason or another, Darrell Jackson was not allowed to play last season. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise. Many thought if he played last year, he would have gone to the NFL. Well, guess what? He's back. He's got his last opportunity, the Miami transfer. Linebacker has always been the biggest issue at Florida State in the 4-2-5 defense. They don't recruit well at that position. Randy Shannon does not recruit well. Okay, reminds me of Lawrence Dawsey. Randy Shannon's been all over the place, done some nice things. He doesn't recruit his position. Florida State is lacked at linebacker. Okay, Lundy returned. That's good. He's a decent linebacker against the run. Who's their best coverage linebacker? Whoa, boy. You going to Omar Graham me? Are you going to bring in a guy like Blake Nicholson or Sean Murphy or, anyway, Justin Crab? I don't know. I haven't seen him play. No one's seen him play. So coverage at linebacker's scary. I think they'll be okay against the run. But when you have backs out of the backfield, if you're hitting a tight end, wow. I think their secondary is going to be spectacular. NFL players all throughout Florida State's secondary. Their problem is going to be if they're down a possession or two and panic comes in and a defense is able to force Florida State to become a one-dimensional offense, a passing offense. That is what should scare Florida State fans at this particular time. If Florida State can get out and score in the first quarter, if Florida State can get out and control the climate of the contest, they should win. Because, again, I think they can run the ball. Okay? Running changes everything. What does running do? And it's the same thing we talk about the Jaguars. Look at lost with the Jaguars last year, going 8-3 and then 1-5. Look at their splits. Look at the Jaguars running the ball, and that even includes the great second half of their season in 2022. Look at the Jaguars running the ball, and then all of a sudden when they fell on that losing streak, how they couldn't run the ball. And on the flip side of that, how they couldn't defend the run. I think the last 6 games of the year, their rushing defense allowed nearly 45 more yards a game in rushing defense, did the Jaguars, compared to what they did during the first 11 games. Running the ball changes everything. Florida State runs the ball, it keeps their defense on the sideline. They're rested. You run the ball, you tire your opponent's defense. You run the ball, they have to cheat. They have to move an extra man or two closer to the line of scrimmage, inside the box. Then all of a sudden, you do have true one-on-one matchups for DJ Uiagalelei and whoever it is that becomes his go-to guy. That's what we're waiting for. Who's the go-to guy? I don't know. Before I get out of here. Okay? Telling you right now, this is it. If they can solve this, they're going to be all right. Returning receptions, man. They lose Coleman in his 50, Wilson in his 41, Bell in his 39, and Trey Benson in his 20. Their leading receiver is a back in Toafili with 21. Their next leading receiver is Morlock with 19. I like Morlock, but the guy's playing in quicksand, okay? He has to be the slowest tight end I have ever seen. And I like him. Ja'Kai Douglas, a senior, 14 he beat Pittsburgh. Okay, I watched it. You watched it. Is he going to be the number one guy? Oh, no, Ballou. It's going to be Darian Williamson. He caught 9 balls last year. Oh, it's going to be Kentron Portier. He caught 6 balls last year. It's the 5-star Hakeem Wynn. He caught 5 balls last year. Destin Hill, shelved again. Yeah, we've been hearing more about Destin. It's shelved. Deuce Spawn's a waste of everyone's time. 1 reception last year. I can't believe he's still on the team. After he turtled against Georgia, I would have sent him packing. Mike Norvell did not ask me what my opinion was. That's the biggest problem. And you know what? It's one that can be discovered. It's one that can arise. You know what you hope is that you're 3-4 games into the season, you're like, my goodness, Malik Benson's a star. My God, this Hakeem Williams kid really is the deal. Sure, I'm glad Ja'Kai Douglas came back for his 6th year. Look at him. He's putting up big numbers. Where's your confidence in that? They open in Dublin. It's the first game of the year on August 24th, which is scary. Today's the 22nd of July. Are you kidding me? Game's a month away. Then it's Labor Day evening at home against BC. You know that's going to be a better coach team. With Bill O'Brien, Doug Marrone, heading up his analytics or whatever, upstairs. I don't know what the title is, but those are a couple of good coaches, along with many others who are at BC. Memphis returns. Oh, my God, it's Mike Norvell Day. Get your tickets for Memphis. Cal comes in. I mean, that should be 4-0 without blinking an eye. That should be 4-0 without a conversation. You go to SMU. They're going to build it up. The Pony Express. Look it up, kids. I mean, it produced the death penalty. Look it up. Craig James and Eric Dickerson. Right smack dab in the middle of Dallas. Clemson. At Duke. 33,000 and change. Here comes Manny Diaz and Duke. What are you doing on Friday night, October 18th, JJ?
Working with you, most likely.
Let's make plans for Florida State at Duke.
Watch party after the show.
Miami. A week later.
Now we're talking.
The Canes. The Canes are back. They got the best quarterback in the transfer portal. They got the best running back in the transfer portal. The Canes are back. Talked about the line of scrimmage. North Carolina comes in. Oh, you got a Notre Dame at night. 7:30 at night. Notre Dame. Saturday, November 9th. 22 degrees in South Bend. Charlie South hustles in a week after. And then it's the Florida Gators to wrap up the season for Florida State. It's a pretty interesting schedule. I think homers would say 10-2, 11-1. I think you can honestly make a case that Tech could get him on opening day. You could make the case. I'm not going to make it. I think you can make the case that SMU could get him. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it today. You know, the week of the game, everything changes, injuries, whatever. Clemson, lots of battle. At Duke, no. At Miami's a battle. North Carolina, I think Florida State's a better program. At Notre Dame, it's a battle. And Florida's a battle. And before we go back and forth about which way these programs are going, have you watched the game the last couple of years where Florida State's clearly the better team, but they were 60-minute games? Jordan Travis played the best game of his career 2 years ago. I mean, I don't think Charlie. I don't know if Jameis wins that game. I don't know if Charlie Ward wins that game. There's no way Chris Wenke does with his statue. How did he escape? Still can't believe those officials didn't call those touchdowns. Those are quarterly touchdowns. Florida State won. Blue, you're the only guy I know who complains when Florida State wins. Yeah, I mean, they should have been touchdowns. There you go. Florida State in 2024. JJ and I'll make our official predictions on the Noles and other big-time college football programs right before the start of this season. I thought it was a good day, well represented by Peyton, Farmer, as well as Washington and Mike Norvell. But to me, that's the biggest key all year. Can they find a playmaker? And can DJ Uiagalelei improve on that 57% completion percentage he had last year with the Beavers? Got to get that up. All right, second hour, Jaguar Talk is coming up. Let's revisit everything that happened at the British Open. And, you know, kind of sadly for me, it's almost like I put away golf for a little bit. I hate to say it that way. Maybe I'll try to keep an open eye on it. I certainly love it once we get back to the start of the calendar year. Kind of miss the old days of the PGA Tour when they start with the Mercedes Championships in Hawaii, then go all throughout the West Coast and get here with the Southern Swing. But I just don't pay as much attention because of everything that's going on football-wise. But certainly this year's British Open was very entertaining, especially if you loved tough conditions and a tough golf course. We'll talk to our good friend Rick Shoemaker from Cimarron. He will join us as well. Coming up in hour number 2.
Open it, please.
What's the code? 1010XL. 1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Soccer fans, don't miss your chance to see teams from the English Premier League compete in the Stateside Cup right here in Jacksonville. Competition will be fierce when Wolves and West Ham United take the pitch under the lights at Everbank Stadium July 27th. It's Premier Soccer at a premier venue for one night only. Tickets are going fast. Buy yours today at statesidecup.com.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Well, just when I thought summer couldn't get any sweeter, Kohl's has to go ahead and drop their 3-day summer sale. And let me tell you, these deals are too good to miss. I got 40% off swimsuits, tank tops for just $5.99, 40% off Food Network grilling gear, and with an extra 15% off home finds, I scored Sonoma Goods for Life patio furniture for under $25. Yep, thank you Kohl's for fueling our sweet summer of fun. Select styles, offers end July 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing has the highest wind and impact ratings available? If you want a stronger roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Learn more at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
You know, Santa's on the beach this time of year, but the elves at Beard's Diamonds have been busy.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hour number 2 into the night alongside JJ LaSelva. I am Rick Ballou. Good to have you with us. Vacay was outstanding. Now I'm ready to go. And I gave myself almost a grounding during vacation because I said, yeah, it'll now begin 6.5 months of a grind. And I was like, how dare you use the word grind? You know, lucky you are to cover a National Football League team right here in Duval, and you get to talk sports with these great listeners each and every day. How dare you say a grind? It's not a grind. It's spectacular. And I'm very lucky. So I corrected myself and did a shot. And got over it. But I, as always, I'm vulnerable. I'm honest. I'm going to share with you even mistakes that I did make. People who complain about this, you've got to be crazy. Now, complaining about the team that you cover or the team that you love, if they don't perform well, that's a totally different set of rules, right? But there are much harder jobs and grinds that are out there. So, again, it was a little bit of self-discipline while I was gone. I hate this. It's been brought to our attention today, the passing of Mark Carnival. My goodness. On PGA Tour radio, one of the only times I drift away from us here at 92.5 and 1010 on the AM will be to listen to PGA Tour radio. And, yeah, I know Mark a little bit. I've done some radio interviews with Mark. I know that recently he lived right here. I want to say in Ponte Vedra. I know he was somewhere out at the beach. But apparently he died earlier today. I'm waiting on official details as to whether or not it happened here or happened, somewhere else. But he was a young guy, only 64. He was born in Annapolis. His dad was the basketball coach at the Naval Academy. He went off to play golf at James Madison. Earned pro in 83, was on the PGA Tour, the Nike Tour, the U.S. Golf Tour, had 5 professional wins, including 1 on the PGA Tour, 1 on the Korn Ferry Tour. Played in the Masters, PGA Championship, United States Open. His best ever finish was 25th in the United States Open. He did not play in the British Open. But he just, I didn't know Mark especially well. I knew him from some interviews and some things along those lines, but he's one of those guys when you listen to on the radio, you kind of felt like, you were part of something. Radio play-by-play is so different from being a talk show host, right? Depending on what the sport is that you cover. I think radio, man, remember you always used to say on TV when they would talk about the pictures and the descriptions and the accounts? I think play-by-play on radio is sensational. I never thought that golf would be, but it is, if you ever listen to the PGA Tour. They do a really nice job. And this just hurts my heart a little bit. I know he was close to a few people here at the radio station as well, so I want to offer up condolences there. We're losing way too many people, only 64. Rest in peace to Mark Carnival. All right, we were going to, is he with us? Yeah, so it does. It saddens me just a little bit. At the age of 64, goodbye to Mark Carnival.
Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
I love talking golf with Mark Carnival right here in Jacksonville. Always love talking golf as well with Rick Shoemaker, who is at Cimarron, is the owner and the operator of the great golf course on 210. I don't know if you just heard here for the first time, Rick. Were you friends at all? Did you know Mark Carnival during your years with everything you've done golf-wise?
No, I met him one time very briefly, but did not know him. Again, as you said, though, life is short, and he brought a lot to the game. He was, probably more well-known due to, I think, technology, right, in the times we live in for his broadcasting. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And just to know that this suddenly happened is just terrible for his family, obviously, most importantly. And we just wish him well. And I appreciate you taking time to remember him because times like these, that's what makes one's life important. So,
Royal Troon. First things first, the conditions were awful. The golf course played tough, depending on when your tee time was. Overall, we've talked about some of these guys going really low this year, including at the Players. Do you like golf, like what we witnessed over the last 4 days?
Heck yeah. It's different, right? At the end of the day, it's different.
Yeah.
These guys are pampered. They're pampered in conditioning, conditions of the golf course. They're pampered in what they are provided. And I think the British Open simply says Mother Nature is going to guide us and guide the golf course. And it is what it is. If you hit a driver or 3-wood into a par 3 and you don't reach the green, then too bad.
Yeah, it was outstanding. I thoroughly did enjoy it. All right, we become, and here I am becoming part of the problem, but instead of just sitting back and relishing about how talented Scotty Scheffler is and Xander Schauffele is, we have to know who the best is. And this is going to be a fascinating vote this year. PGA Tour Player of the Year or Golfer of the Year. Are you going with Schauffele now with 2 majors, or are you going to look at the 6 overall victories of Scotty Scheffler?
I think I'm still going with Scheffler. At the end of the day, I think Schauffele's performance the last 2 majors, obviously winning them, is fantastic. But Scheffler has been more consistent, and I think almost it gets him, to me, a definitive vote because, frankly, his putting's so bad. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine what Scotty would have done if he was putting even in the mid-tier ranks, what he would have done. So what he's done, I think, is just, again, I think if he wins one more time or had one more time, and technically the season's through December, right?
Yes.
There's a few more events.
Right.
So if he wins one more time, he will be the first person since Tiger to win 7 times in 1 year.
It's fascinating to me, Rick, because if you're like a weekend hack like I am, there are times where I can putt really well, but I can't do anything else right. Why is it when we get to this level? I mean, no one's better tee to green than Scotty Scheffler. His statistics are absolutely spectacular. But he's not the only one. We've seen it forever. I remember when Sergio, before he won here at the Players, they always talked about how Sergio had trouble putting. We can look at DJ Johnson losing some big events by not putting well. Why is it for the greatest players on this planet, some of them struggle with putting more than anything else?
You know, I think it's obviously all psychological. I think when you're on the greens, there's some mechanics to it. And I do wonder, I haven't studied Scotty's stroke enough. And, it's interesting. Brad Faxon didn't say a ton about it, and he's probably the greatest expert in instructor right now. But Scotty, when you watch his swing, everything is just natural, right? It's carefree. His feet are carefree. His alignment, everything is, even though they talk about he gets back to the basics, it's pretty loose. And so I just wonder in his putting if that mindset of looseness kicks in because they don't say it that he has the yips, but he's missed quite a few short ones. It's not like he's not putting well and missing putts or 3-putting. He seems to miss these little ones time and time again. And it's sporadic. And I think, is that just a looseness aspect? That's the double-edged sword that he gets to play with from tee to green, but yet on the greens it can be the demise of a great score.
A 65 yesterday for Xander Schauffele. He wins the British Open over at Royal Troon in Scotland yesterday, 9 under par, talking about the 4th major of the 2024 season with Rick Shoemaker over at Cimarron. Okay, for Rory McIlroy, who goes home on Friday, it's now 10-plus years since he has won a major. He's heading towards, the middle part of, I think he's 34, so he's heading towards his mid-30s. We know he's had some personal issues with his wife and what have you. He's had a really good year. He's had top 5s. He's had top 10s. We know what he did, at the United States Open. Where are you now with Rory McIlroy?
I think he's top 10, and I think unfortunately, his talent is perhaps the best in the world, but mentally, whatever is, constricting him, choking him, and not that he's a choker at all. Something's constraining him mentally from letting that talent exceed, and he had it when he was young, and is it a killer instinct? Question mark. Is it that he's trying too hard and the tension's growing? But to me, he's a top 10 performer, but he has the talent to that actually. I would say he's the most talented player in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
And something's just not letting him, close the door and move on.
Hey, for the first time in 46 years now, 7 straight majors have been won by Americans.
Amazing. It's been a long time. And I hate to say this, I'm actually a fan of the European aspect because of what you brought up at the beginning with the golf they play, the environment, the obstacles they face, the creativity they have to have. I've always been a big Spaniard fan. Seve Ballesteros is at the top of my list as a player that I used to admire when I was growing up. Sergio, you see them all, and they just have the ability and creativity. And this is the first time that we've seen the Americans, win, one after another. So it's close though.
Yeah.
There's some of those Swedes. There's Swedes coming along. Ireland's been pumping them out. So we'll see what happens. But it's a nice run, a great run really, and we'll see what happens. Shoffley, to me, he's got a little bit of a European connection though, right? Isn't Shoffley's father German or something like that? And he grew up over there?
He grew up, I know he's San Diego, but I'm not sure exactly, where he was earlier in his life. I know he went to San Diego State and at least spent some years out in California. But
his dad's from Stuttgart.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I thought he was, yeah.
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 Wow,
so
it's been a while.
Born and raised, but
yeah. But his style is, it's certainly interesting, and it is a different style when you play over there. And that's what's been so fascinating about golf this year, whether it's been on the PGA Tour or with these four majors, is depending on when these events are played, we've seen different shots at different golf courses. It's been spectacular. All right, speaking of different shots, different golf courses, the summer months are here at Cimarron. What's the latest? Tell us what you're doing with the golf course.
Oh, wow. We just finished some various projects. We had to redo a bridge, of course, some of the basics. But for the golf course and the golfers, we just completed a bunker renovation project. Sod's still growing in and things like that. But we are doing very well across the board. It's as healthy as it's been in a long time. Having a great summer. And, again, just trying to get better every day. Again, the bunkers are looking wonderful. The greens are transitioned well this summer. And we're looking forward to a fantastic fall and spring out here.
Yeah, no question about us. Tell us about the Loyalty Club program.
Loyalty program. We always have the Wild One exclusive package. It includes golf, lunch, and a beer. In fact, we just launched today, if they call the golf shop, the 5-round all-inclusive package. So for $245, $45 plus tax around, basically. You can pre-buy a 5-round punch card that's good from now through September 15th, Monday through Friday, even in the morning. So Monday through Friday, you can play out here for $45, lunch, beer, and golf with your cart, and just enjoy the new Cimarron and have an incredible time in the restaurant afterwards, the Stone and Barrel Tap House.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That is always a blast. That is at Cimarron and Cimarron Golf Club right there on 210. Rick Shoemaker, our guest. Always a lot of fun, Rick. Thank you.
No, thank you.
There he goes. Appreciate his time. And, the golf was fun. I don't know if you heard about this, JJ, because I was on vacation, but I did predict Thurston Lawrence to win.
Yes.
The British Open.
I had Daniel Brown, who also wrote the Da Vinci Code, who also was smoking cigs all weekend. I love it. That's what I love about the European guys, specifically like the UK guys, is they're still smoking cigs. And it was like, I think Friday maybe, he was wrapping up his round, and he got really lucky on a shot that like bounced over a bunker on 18. And they cut to him really fast, and he's flicking his cigarette out in the middle of the fairway. I'm like, this guy rules, man. So I was cheering hard for Daniel Brown. Rough finish on Sunday, but I didn't expect him to make it all the way to Sunday, that high up in the leaderboard. But, man, a hell of a final round, and, like, so many, like you said, a couple random names in there with the new T-Law, Trevor Lawrence, or whatever his first name was. And then you had, I thought for a while that Scheffler was still going to win. I'm like, okay, he's like 3 shots back. He's lurking. But no, he didn't have it on Sunday. But man, Xander is just coming into his own. He hits clutch shot after clutch shot, like huge putts. But it's always like, I feel like his second shots are amazing, like getting it on the green from wherever. He was great yesterday. Sort of like lurked around all weekend. And I didn't even think about him winning until, Sunday morning. I'm like, why not? He's the best golfer in the world right now, and he definitely proved it. So I think it'll be fun to see him versus Scotty in the playoffs to prove.
That would have been a blast.
It will be to prove like who is the number one guy. Not a literal playoff at the Open. I mean, in these next 3 events.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how important it is to him. I mean, I know that they say it's important, but
it's not a major.
Yeah, this Thurston Lawrence,
South
Africa. I went back to last year. He missed the cut at Arnold Palmer. He missed the Memorial, missed the cut there, missed the U.S. Open cut, missed the Jennison Scottish Open cut. He made $37,000 last year at the Open with a 74th, tied for 74th. He made $37,300, and he made $31,500 at Oak Hill for the PGA Championship. So he made $68,800 during the 2022-2023 year. This season, okay, he made $20,000 at Myrtle Beach, okay, the Myrtle Beach Classic at the Dunes Golf and Beach Club. He missed the cut out in Corrales. He missed the cut at Valhalla for the PGA Championship. He missed the cut a week ago at the Scottish Open. Yesterday, he brings home a check of $876,000.
It's my favorite thing about golf is it's these random guys who change their life. And, you know, every once in a while, one of them will actually win. Who's speaking of cigarette smokers and a UK guy, oh my God, what is his name? Who's the older guy? He won the British Open maybe like 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh, is he the guy in jail?
No, he was playing this weekend.
Who's the former Masters guy who won the Masters I went to in 2013? He's in jail. As a matter of fact, I saw him over here at Atlantic Beach.
Are you talking about Scotty Scheffler? No, Angel Cabrera.
Yeah, Angel Cabrera. Yeah, I think he's behind bars.
Yeah, he's getting out.
Okay.
He had to do 3 years for some blow, I think it was.
I don't know what it was.
It's definitely drugs.
All right, let's take a break. Yeah, let's do that. We'll come back. We'll continue this conversation. Actually, I want to get to some Jaguars stuff. Let's do that on the other side. I can't believe we're a day and a half away from the start of training camp 2024. If you want to enjoy, or actually if you want to join the conversation, the best way to do it is on our text line. That's 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Want more Jags? Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. Looking for more in-depth coverage of the Gators? Subscribe to the 1010XL Gators YouTube channel. Need your FSU fix? Well, subscribe to the 1010XL Seminoles YouTube channel. Your favorite team, one specific location.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Hey folks, Picken here for Zero Res. You and I know Zero Res loves cleaning carpets in your home, but did you know Zero Res can also clean the carpets where you work? Take a look at the floors where you work, and if they need cleaning, suggest to the boss they call Zero Res. For the month of July, Zero Res offering 20% off all commercial carpet cleaning. Call Zero Res, and they'll come out and give you a free estimate on what it will take to get the job done. Zero Res, man, you spell it forward. Zero Res, you spell it backwards. Zero Res, it's the right way to clean.
You know, Santa's on the beach this time of year, but the elves at Beard's Diamonds have been busy.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 22nd, 1923,
Washington Senators future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Walter Johnson becomes the first to reach 3,000 career strikeout milestone.
Life has its share of challenges, and when it puts you to the test, make sure you reach out to Rebound Rehabilitation to give you the quickest path back to full health and confidence. Rebound Rehab, specializing in helping patients overcome back pain and sciatica, arthritis, and fibromyalgia, just to name a few. Rebound Rehab, locations covering the entire First Coast, getting you back in control with a pain-free life. Sports injury, workplace injury, whatever it might be, you can rebound. Log on to reboundrehab.com for more info.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3-putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year one. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
The saying goes, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, that is actually true if your neighbor installed artificial turf. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned local company that will take your backyard dreams and turn them into a reality. Caleb can design anything from putting greens to pet runs, and if you have a pool, you'll definitely love maintenance-free turf around it. Visit sunshineturf.info to get a free quote today. Sunshine Turf. That's sunshineturf.info.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234. Make the right connection.
1010XL Weekly is out now. Mia here, and text the word weekly to subscribe to our new 1010XL newsletter and for a chance to win Jaguars and concert tickets. Get an inside look at local sports, trending players, station info, and chances to win prizes all year long.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Blue Crab House, they rest on this Monday. They're back at it tomorrow beginning at 4:30, and each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas. All right? $9 margarita pitchers. Only at the Blue Crab House. Wednesday, $1 steamed oysters. Thursday, $3 drafts, $4 wines, $5 wells. And, of course, on Sunday, beginning at high noon, $2.50 Bloody Marys and mimosas. And I go there for the crabs. You're not going to find better crabs anywhere. Right off of San Jose on Jointon Creek Road. Can you imagine being in Green Bay right now, and Packer fans are everywhere, and hearing that Jordan Love's not going to report until he gets a new deal? And I've been very outspoken about Trevor. I gave you my reasons, and I wouldn't have paid him when they did. But that's over. Very rarely am I going to bring that up. I hope I'm wrong. Okay. Trevor never showed or never acted like he would do that. You know, Tua missed some time. Aaron Rodgers, for one reason or another, missed some time. He had to go and explain that away today on an interview. And now you have Jordan Love who's sitting out. That was never a problem with Trevor, but at least the Trevor thing now is over. And he'll be ready to go when we're out there watching Jaguars practice at the Miller Electric Center coming up on Wednesday morning. Can you imagine that type of panic taking over your team with a young quarterback who really dazzled last year? Better than I thought, but I still, I have reservations. Are you ready to put Jordan Love in the same category as Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers? I mean, are you going to pay him? These quarterbacks make more and more and more. Depending on how you read the contract, Trevor is number one in the NFL. You go get it differently and say, no, you're not. Trevor's number 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. It's $312 million over 7 years. It's $275 million over 5 years. You're going to pay Jordan Love that amount of money to lead the franchise in Green Bay. What do you do? And what are they, JJ, they're saying it's only a matter of time. They're dotting a few I's, crossing a few T's, but where do you sit with Love?
I think it would be crazy to give him a long-term, big-time, anywhere close to the Trevors of the world type deal. We've seen 1 year of this kid.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see more, man. I don't get it at all. I get that they went to the playoffs last year, but I was never really totally wowed by him. He had some great games, but I don't see it. I don't think this kid is like one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. Hell no.
No.
But if you see it again this year, yeah, you pay him. But there's no reason for them to.
Lawrence falls into this category. A lot of these quarterbacks fall into this category. I mean, the Jaguars as an organization made a decision to pay Trevor Lawrence based on what they believe he is going to bring this city. Not on what he has done, on what he is going to do. In life in general, that is always one of the greatest conversation pieces that any business owner, president, general manager, no matter where you are, do you pay a guy, do you pay a gal based on what they've done? Or do you pay them based on what you think they are going to do? Okay? The Jaguars didn't give $275 million to Trevor Lawrence after he's had 60 turnovers in the last 3 years. They paid him based on the belief that he's going to take this team into the playoffs year after year after year, and that this is going to become a Super Bowl contender. That's the feeling. It's the same thing here now for Jordan Love, and it's going to be the exact same thing for Tua in Miami. And before you know it, there's going to be more quarterbacks. This is going to be the case year after year after year. That's why it's such a fascinating situation. Yeah, I read that 80% of the NFL coaches have been at their jobs for less than 4 years. 80%. Who's left? Kittle's gone. Belichick's gone. You've got Reed and Harbaugh and Tomlin, right? Those are going to be the only double-digit as far as tenures with the same team. Am I wrong?
No.
Tomlin, Harbaugh.
Carroll just left. Belichick just left.
Even they fired Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, that's a good
Why
one.
would Tennessee fire Mike Vrabel? So, and the quarterbacks change like that. We just talked about Bo Nix a little bit earlier. It seems like every single year, who cares what those mock drafts say? You and I both know when it's all said and done, you can have 4 to 5 to 6 quarterbacks selected in the first round. And teams start all over again. I guess because the salary cap is so high, you can afford to do it and get, from without. Worst case scenario, how many years would Trevor have to stick around? He's got 7 years as far as an extension. I'm just thinking hypothetically here. What if it went really south? they'd be in cap hell later in the contract. And I know no one wants to think that, nor should you, but we've seen it apply to guys like Daniel Jones in New York. And this has become such, and it's part of the reason, and I've seen it reported a couple of places, but we're starting to hear about a quarterback salary cap, okay, which is fascinating to me. And I don't know how that will go over as far as the National Football League Players Association. Obviously, quarterback's going to be the highest paid positional players. It's arguably the most important position in any sport, period. But there's been a little bit of talk about that. I mean, is this where the first billion-dollar player is going to be? It'd be too early for a Quinn Ewers who comes out this year, or Sanders or Carson Beck. But, I mean, it's 2024. That would be the 2025 draft. What is it, by the year 20? And I know the rookie salary cap comes into play, so that's a bad example. But
maybe like 2035
for a second contract.
Yeah, exactly.
It may be still premature for Quinn Ewers or any of those guys, but, let's just say it's a guy that gets ready to come out by the 2029, 2030 NFL draft. 5 years after the fact, you could be talking about a quarterback who just signed for $1 billion.
Or how about a guy like, let's say Pat comes up to the end of his contract and he wants to start doing the LeBron thing of like 1 and 2 year deals the rest of his career. I mean, is Patrick Mahomes worth like $100 million for one season?
Yes. He's won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years.
I'm with you, man.
He is. You can't write a big enough check to him. I mean, isn't that what it's all about? Winning the Super Bowl? Look at the Yankees. Look at their payroll. They're petrified. They won today. They're petrified right now. The biggest money doesn't always equal the best player. It doesn't. And baseball has really reared its ugly head in that particular statistic. Football is different, as you know, where everything is capped. Football is built where you are supposed to be really good and then really bad. But there's never supposed to be what New England was. And even to a lesser extent, what Seattle was or what Pittsburgh, even though Pittsburgh doesn't win playoff games, Mike Tomlin's won, 7 or 8 playoff games in his career? I think they've won 1 playoff game in like their last 8 years. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. I don't have anything to back it up. Still, Pittsburgh has a winning season just about every year, and they at least make it into the playoffs about every year. The way that this league is structured is that you're not supposed to be a bad team for a long period of time, and you're also not supposed to be a great team for a long period of time. But, that system has been flawed.
It's tough because the quarterback is so important in the game. Like, there's no way they could change that. I mean, if anything, they've been doing the opposite, where they make it so easy for the quarterback, and they look out for the quarterback's health so much more than they used to, and they're elongating these careers so much that it's having the opposite effect of what they want when it comes to price controls, which we see that all over, many different nations throughout history. Price controls don't always do what you want them to do, and that's sort of what happens with salary caps in these leagues.
Let's come back and breeze through this real quickly. I tell you what I want to do. I want to look at the top teams who have, and what do top teams have in common? They have great quarterbacks, right?
Of course.
Let's take a look at these great teams and take away their quarterback, and then tell me where you think they are, okay? And again, it just defines why this position is so far ahead of everything else in sports. So let's do that. Also, I want to comment on Eric Armstead, who will not be officially practicing for the Jaguars when their training camp gets underway starting on Wednesday. I'll have a few comments on that as well.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
It starts with a great play by Tony Brackett. He knows he's too far upfield to sack Dan Marino. so he's going to take a swipe at the football. Big-time play here by Tony Brackett.
1010XL.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Denny Thompson here. Tackle burglars and protect your turf. Give yourself peace of mind catching everything around your home with Tyson Sound & Security's cutting-edge surveillance cameras. For safety and convenience, Tyson has you covered for all home cameras and security systems. I'm talking HD recording, night vision, and remote alerts all from your phone or computer. Call Tyson Sound & Security right now at 904-762-1000. Tyson Sound & Security. Security and automation experts.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
The 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris feature incredible athletes and is the third time the Olympics will be held in Paris. If you're planning to attend, USAPark.net Airport Parking salutes your support of our American athletes. So no matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Picking here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Attention homeowners, is it time to get your septic tank pumped out? Don't wait until it's too late. At Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic, our experienced technicians use the latest equipment to pump out your tank safely and efficiently, ensuring that your septic system is running smoothly. Neglecting your septic tank can lead to costly repairs and even health hazards. So call Duck Duck Rooter and schedule your septic tank pumping. Call now, 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars training camp gets underway Wednesday morning. We will be at the Miller Electric Center. Sign up. If you have an opportunity, get all the details. Just go to jaguars.com. The facility is just, it really is. It's beyond belief. I mean, you're used to those old days, sitting on those metal benches and no shade. You have complete cover, restrooms, all the amenities, great place for kids. You're just going to love it. But you got to register, so. We're going to have nonstop reports, and I'm fired up about it. Looking forward to tomorrow's show. But certainly once we get things cranked up on Wednesday, be nonstop Jags talk. I got a lot of stuff while I was gone on Eric Armstead. Relax. Okay? He had a meniscus issue, a knee problem. He had surgery. He begins the year on the PUP. It's a transaction that benefits Jacksonville. They can take him off this list at any time. Okay? If he remains on it once the season begins, then it becomes problematic. Remember, the roster will go from 90 to 53, although you have, I believe it's still 16 practice squad players, but he would be forced to miss 4 games. I would expect him to be back before, the Jaguars open up their season. And I'm actually surprised that he's the only one. Don't be shocked if you hear about someone else being placed on the PUP tomorrow. All right? I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm saying don't be shocked if something like that actually does take place. If he's the only one to begin on the PUP list, then that's pretty good, considering that's your 90-man roster. So if something does happen with that, we'll know tomorrow, and we'll certainly talk about that. Also, a former Jaguar, Yannick Ngakoue, according to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, was going to work out today with the Miami Dolphins. Okay, let's go through this real quick. You take a quarterback off these teams, these very good teams, these playoff teams, where are they? Buffalo, Josh Allen, boy. I don't think they're a playoff team without him. Miami, Tua. I don't think Tua's as important as Josh Allen. I don't know if they're a playoff team. Jump in here if you agree or disagree with any of them.
I'm 100% on both of those. I think there's plenty of guys that could jump into Tua's position, and they would be just fine. I don't know about Josh Allen. There's probably only like 3 quarterbacks I'd put above him, maybe even a couple.
Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, that's problematic.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's an example.
Especially they built the entire offense around him.
Right, here's 2 examples of teams that made it into the playoffs where there was uncertainty at quarterback in both Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Okay? And
great defense in Cleveland.
Right. And then you look at Cincinnati, they lost their quarterback, and what happened to them?
Terrible.
No.
I still think that Pittsburgh season last year was such a freak anomaly. Like, no one can explain it to me. Like, how the hell they ended up with 9 wins, how they get a winning record, how they get to the playoffs. They were so bad.
Well, look at their division. Baltimore was plus 203. If you look at points for, points against, plus 203. Cleveland plus 34. Pittsburgh as a playoff team was minus 20. Okay? Again, the Bills we talked about, plus 140. The Dolphins we talked about, plus 105. It's staggering. All right, Houston without C.J. Stroud. They're not a playoff team.
No. I mean, who are we replacing them with?
Yeah.
Like just the average. Well, I guess we should say if they're replaced by the bang average quarterback in the league, then they wouldn't, So who is that? Who is the average quarterback in the league? Like Kirk Cousins?
Yeah,
I think he's pretty good.
I actually think Cousins is better than average.
Yeah.
I would put him right behind Jared Goff as perhaps the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
Trevor average? Is Trevor like that guy?
Well, let's look at Jacksonville. 9-8. Trevor missed one start.
Which they won.
And am I going to sit here and tell you that if the Jaguars played 17 games without Trevor Lawrence, they'd make the playoffs? I would say no. But if you're telling me he's out a month and Trevor was to miss 4 games, I know I'm changing the conversation on us now. I think they can win 3 or 4 games with Mac Jones. I think the organization believes they can win 3 or 4 games with Mac Jones. But you don't pay a guy this and then all of a sudden say, yeah, you can win with a backup. I think, honestly, the only team in here that I would say is a perennial playoff team that I think would possibly have a chance, even without their quarterback.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
They could plug in just
Absolutely.
about any quarterback, and I think they'd be pretty damn good. I think Brock Purdy is good and respectable and, manages the game very well. But I think probably 15 quarterbacks in the league could be plugged in on that team and do just as good. Maybe less than 15, maybe 10.
They were number 2 in scoring defense last year. Only Baltimore was better.
And the weapons on offense, too.
Actually, Kansas City was 4 points better. So they were 3rd in scoring defense. Oh, yeah. No question. But, yeah, that would be the one playoff team that I would look at and say, I still think they have a chance. Is it Philadelphia, maybe?
That's a good one.
Maybe Philadelphia. How about Green Bay?
The problem with Philly is yeah.
Sean Clifford, ladies and gentlemen. Penn State's only Sean Clifford underside. He's taking first snaps right now with Jordan Love out.
See, if we're talking about like that team with their backup, that's a totally different conversation. As in like replacing him with the average guy. I would think most teams' backup is not anywhere close to the average NFL quarterback.
Well, that's what separates teams. Listen, I have always, and I know that Doug Peterson won with the backup quarterback. Okay, won with Nick Foles. Don Shula back in the early 70s won with a backup quarterback when Earl Morrill, when Bob Greasy went out. Jeff Hostetler won when Phil Simms went out. It is so few and far between.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady won when Bledsoe went out. It is so few and far between. Finding I just told you, the backup quarterback right now in Green Bay is Sean Clifford. Now, maybe.
The big red dog.
Yeah, but, conversation piece has turned here just a little bit, but I do think Jacksonville has 2 quality backups.
Yeah, Jacksonville has like one of the best backups in the league.
Absolutely. And again, they think that they can win with Mac Jones. I don't know what they're going to do with C.J. Beathard. I don't know if they're going to cut him and try to put him on the practice squad. I mean, there's a guy who has some experience. If they say goodbye to him, he could end up with another organization. So we will find out.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
There was no cooling down today for Jim Phillips. He is the leader of the Atlantic Coast Conference, and he was saying, fight, 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 fight. No team is bigger than our conference, the Atlantic Coast Conference. He mentioned everything about how to bring in more revenue, possibility of even private equity at some particular point. Many believe this was a victory today for the Atlantic Coast Conference as words came out of Charlotte that stated that Florida State and Clemson are not going to reach the August 15th deadline to announce that they are leaving the ACC, which would be put in place for the 2025 and 2026 football season. So the way things look right now, whether you like it or dislike it, Florida State, Clemson, and everyone else, because we know once the moves happen, others will follow, most notably Miami and North Carolina. The way things look right here tonight, they're going to be in the ACC for this year and next year for football. And who knows how much longer after that. That's going to do it for us right here on a Monday edition. Back with you tomorrow, Tuesday, 6 to 8. Thank you to my good buddy Rick Shoemaker. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. Hacker is up next. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk with you.